I mean, it was a little bit of a cluster, you know what?
Yeah, you know what, Sean Payton, I can't disagree with you. It is a bit of a cluster, you know what? I think it means cluster fuck. We used to say this, and I'll tell you why I'm talking about cluster fucks, but we used to say clown feather around the kids because we'd say that's a CF. And they're like, what's daddy? Daddy, what's a CF? And I was like, clown feather. And they'd be like, oh, this is a CF. And then that, like, something like, why would you say that? Because clown feathers are crazy. You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, totally get it, Dad. When kids agree with, somebody that's older and they don't understand the joke or understand the conversation, be like, total clown feather. So anyway, the reason I bring up Sean Payton saying something's a cluster, you know what, and a cluster fuck is because I got so much going on. I'm recording these shows for this week a few days in advance, and I'm trying to do it as much as I can. I'm sending like text messages to like Mark Schlereth, Chad Brown, guys like that, see if I can squeeze them in and get those interviews recorded. Because I got to be honest, here's a little inside peek into broadcasting. Interviews, as long as it's a good interviewee, it's so much easier than doing a regular show because all you have to do is come up with some basic conversation points. And if they can just talk, it's super easy. So I'm like, what better way to half-ass my way through this week is to get some interviews. Okay. That's a behind the scenes thing. So when you see these people, those people that are just like guest heavy, it's because they can't talk on their own. They're like, I'm just going to get a guest and let them speak, which can be very entertaining. It can. But when you listen, not necessarily me, but like other talk shows or podcasters that can do an entire show without a guest, just saying, it takes a lot of skill. A skill that a lot of people don't got. I get that I've learned a lot from the great Sandy Clough, who I worked with for years and years and years. And he could talk, dude, that guy could talk for like 10 hours all by himself. Does not give a shit if anybody's listening or not. I imagine when he's home alone by himself and he's just talking, continues to talk, and does a show. Might be one of the best shows ever. It's all by himself. He's the only one listening. Anyway, that's me rewinded. Hey guys, what's going on? It's the Huff Uncensored. We're broadcasting from the Storms Bros Junk Removal Studios. If you need some junk removed, go ahead, contact them at stormsbrothersjunk.com. Guys, we got a great sports section today coming your way. Cannot wait to jump into it. Whether we're talking Broncos, we're going to hear from Mel Kiper. Let's see, we got Broncos, Nuggets, Rockies. It's the whole shebang. Hey, everybody. Hey, Scott, can we talk about clown feathers again? All right. I'm trying to find my clown voice. All right. Yeah. Clowns. You know what I mean? That's not a good clown voice. It's not. Oh, Penelope. Hi, I'm the clown. It's going to be one of those shows on the Huff Uncensored. Oh, boy. Anyway, guys, let's do this. Show is presented to you, like I said, by Storms Bros Junk Removal Studios, as well as Roof Goat USA. Let's just do this. Let's jump into sports.
He's walked the hallowed grounds of Folsom Field, Coors Field, and Mile High Stadium.
He runs at the 50. He runs at the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes.
It's time for sports with DeHuff.
Yeah, go. By the way, sports is presented to you by Roof Goat USA. Check them out at roofgoatusa.com. I literally, like 20 minutes ago, I was like, hey, Mark, like, any chance you want to pop on the show? If so, here's the link. I doubt it's going to happen. He's going to do this. He's going to be, that guy travels so much. He'll send me a text like later tonight, be like, dude, just got this. Sorry. Want to do it later? We'll see. Fingers crossed we'll get him on. And I wanted to talk to Chad Brown about, snake safety. Not sports, snakes. Anyway, guys, the Denver Broncos traded for Jalen Waddle the other day. We talked about it. He arrived in Denver, and this is what's cool because the Denver Post is sending out this information, and I think it's really neat, and it's a very good sign. He was immediately taken out to dinner by Bo Nix and several other teammates on his first night in town in effort to welcome Waddle immediately and build chemistry. That is a great sign, guys. Huge sign. It's making him feel welcome. Like it says, it's building team chemistry. Very good sign. The only thing I'm looking at who would you say are the 1, 2, and 3 receivers? We'll just say 1, 2, 3 receivers for the Denver Broncos. I'm still saying that Sutton is number 1, and then Waddle, and then is it Troy Franklin or is it Marvin Mims? The way it was used last year, it was Troy Franklin. And maybe that's the way it should be. As much as I love Marvin Mims, any time that Marvin Mims gets his hand on the football, it feels like there's just a surge of excitement that just blasts out, right? And maybe they put him at the number 4, Mims, because they love him on special teams. Maybe that's the way the logic of it is, but I feel like when he's on offense and he gets the ball, holy cow, watch out. That's going to be an interesting thing how that lays out. I feel like Franklin, yeah, he had a few bumps in the road, but he also had some really clutch plays this last season for the Denver Broncos. Either way, I'm excited for the Broncos. Obviously, the addition of Waddle is great for the receiving core in the Broncos offense. The big question mark, though, we've talked about it a lot, is the Denver Broncos run game. That's a huge issue. They didn't do shit when it came to free agency and trying to get their hands on a running back. And you got the draft coming up, and this is what the Broncos have. They traded away for Waddle, their first round number 30 pick, right? So this is what they have. Second rounder, they have 2 fourth rounders, they have a 5th rounder, and then they have 3 7th rounder, including Mr. Irrelevant. Are they able to get a running back there? Well, maybe. So I'm going to borrow this from Andrew Mason of DenverSports.com. Does a fantastic job. Brilliant mind in sports is Andrew Mason. But he had an opportunity to speak with ESPN's Mel Kiper Jr., who knows a lot about college athletes coming into the NFL. And they brought up the running back position. And what's the likelihood that the Denver Broncos could get their hands on a good running back in the upcoming draft?
The running backs are going to get pushed down. So while it's not deep on paper, I don't think a lot of these running backs are going to go very high. So you're going to see some guys that like Tatron Allen from Penn State. Does he go 3rd, 4th round? He's dropping a little later than that. Nicholas Singleton from Penn State had the injury at Senior Bowl. Where does he go? Damon Claiborne had some fumbling issues at Wake, some inconsistency there, but talented. Where does he go? Kaline Black from Indiana, good year, wasn't invited to the combine. I don't know where he ends up. He's my 10th highest rated running back when he invited to the combine. So Le'Veon Moss, A&M, had some injury issues, but talented. I'll tell you what, Mike Washington Jr. from Arkansas is the guy to watch because he went from Buffalo, New Mexico State, where he didn't do much, to Arkansas this past year. Had a great year. Over 1,000 yards, 6.8 average per carry, 8 touchdowns, 28 receptions out of the backfield. He had that unfortunate fumble late against Memphis. That was the only hiccup. He had at 6'1", 223 pounds, ran exceptionally well in the 4.3s, tested out well athletically. Like I said, with his hands, with the way he ran, he's got just enough wiggle for me, for his size. Mike Washington Jr. from Arkansas could be in the 3rd round mix. He's my 3rd highest rated running back right now behind Love and Price. Price coming out of Notre Dame. And to touch on Price, heck of a back. But he didn't catch a lot of passes. Jeremiah Love was that option for Notre Dame. He had some fumbles where Jeremiah Love didn't fumble. Zarian Price had some fumbles late last year into this year. So he's got ball security. He's got to shore up and get more reps catching the football. But as a pure running back, north-south, outstanding kickoff returner, Zarian Price is going to be. I didn't go into Houston before they brought in the veteran running back, Montgomery. So I think it's in the early second, mid-second, he comes off the board. Emmett Johnson, I like out of Nebraska as a third or fourth rounder. Jonah Coleman out of Washington as a third, fourth rounder. But I think it was Seth McGowan from Kentucky on day 3. And all those other running backs could drop into day 3 that I mentioned. And that's going to allow you, if you wait on running back, to find that Isaiah Pacheco, that goes in the 7th round, or somebody like that goes late in the draft that ends up, an Aaron Jones out of UTEP went up with the 5th, 6th round when he came out, right? You're going to find guys like that. Priest Holmes went undrafted coming out of Texas back in the day. You're going to be able to find some of these running backs that maybe are in my top 10 that may not go till the late rounds of the draft because the teams are going to say there just aren't any running backs. They're not highly rated enough to take them. So, but they're talented and they're dropping because of a little inconsistency, or they didn't have the kind of year expected, or they had an injury. So it is when, or didn't run as well as expected. So at the end of the day, it's going to be kind of all over the place. I'm anxious to see how many of these running backs go within the first 3 rounds. You may only have 3 running backs by the time we finish day 2 selected. At the most 4. That's it. And all these other guys are going to go on day 3.
That's fascinating. Again, thank you so much to Andrew Mason of denversports.com and, of course, Mel Kiper Jr. Go ahead, follow Andrew Mason on social media and check him out on denversports.com. They do a fantastic job. Used to work there, kind of built the place. But they do a fantastic job. Well, that's interesting, guys. Whether you're a Broncos fan or not, you hear that information about running backs. Some of them, they might not be really getting pulled off the board until day 2, or maybe even, who knows, guys? Who knows? It might be deep in the draft and you might luck out. I like what he had to say about Mike Washington of Arkansas, but who knows? It's really interesting. Look at, and I know he didn't last that long in the NFL, but remember Philip Lindsay. He was undrafted. And then he comes in, gets picked up by the Broncos, signed by the Broncos, has a phenomenal rookie year. Was amazing, lightning fast. Teams didn't know how to defend him. Then eventually it gets to the point where I believe it was season 2, mid-season-ish, they figured it out. And he wasn't strong compared to me, but in comparison to other backs, he kind of lost his specialness. So that being said, just because the Broncos didn't get somebody in free agency doesn't mean that they don't have their eyes on a few fellas in the upcoming draft. If there's somebody you think that your team, whether it's the Broncos or not, should have their eye on when it comes to a running back in the upcoming draft, let me know. Put it in the comments. But here's the thing. And there's a lot of people that get mad at me when I say this. I believe in J.K. Dobbins. I do. Because when he's on the field, he is it. He is the guy I want carrying the rock. The problem is he's notorious for getting injured. That's a bad thing to be known for. But the big if Dobbins can stay healthy, watch out. The Broncos are, in my mind, definitely going back to the Super Bowl. But since he's a big question mark, does the addition of Waddle make up for J.K. Dobbins' potential injury that's on the horizon? I'm not ready to say that. That's why the other day I said the addition of Waddle, I'm confident in saying that the Broncos got the AFC West in the bag. But I'm not really willing to say anything further on that because there's a lot that goes into getting beyond the regular season. So we'll see. Thank you again to Andrew Mason and denversports.com. I'm going through Twitter. Adam Schefter. This is so bizarre. We're talking about the NFL draft. It's going to be held in Pittsburgh on, let's see, what is that? Late April 22nd through 24th, something like that. Pittsburgh, the public schools are going to operate remotely from April 22nd through 24th as the city prepares to host the 2026 NFL draft. They're going to have road closures, heightened security, parking restrictions, and heavy traffic expected. So the city believes the remote learning is the best option during that time. I'm curious of what the teachers feel about that one, because that's got to be fucking annoying. If you guys had kids remote learning during COVID, it was a pain in the ass. I would not want to go back to remote learning, not even for a few days. I'd actually be pissed. It makes me feel like the mayor is a football fan. He's like, oh yeah, everybody go remote learning, and he's gonna be locked in at home. Oh, jeez. By the way, I was off by a day. The draft goes from April 23rd through the 25th, but due to school, the city will be shut down from the 22nd through the 24th. So that's how that works. So that makes sense. I mean, I kind of get it. If it's going to be a cluster, we're talking about clusterfucks. That's probably going to be a clusterfuck in the city. So I guess in a way it makes sense. But that being said, too, when the Super Bowl's in a city, they don't fucking shut down. There's more people that go see the Super Bowl, right, than there is to the draft. Unless I'm wrong, I don't feel like I am. I'd be kind of, I don't like it. I don't like it. I think that's over. Unless I've never been to Pittsburgh. Maybe your streets suck and there's just not that much room. Maybe that's the case. You guys let me know. Hey, real quick, when it comes to roof repairs, you're going to want to go with the best. And it's easy to just say you're the best, but these guys are legit. They're the GOATs. It's Roof Goat USA. You got to check them out at roofgoatusa.com. They've been in business for over 24 years. They understand how to do the job and do it right. Whether it's repair, replacement, insurance claims, doesn't matter. They know how to deal with it. You got to check them out now, especially if you think it's going to be an insurance claim, because that stuff can, the insurance, they can be finicky. They can. So get that stuff rolling ASAP and have Root Goat USA by your side to help you deal with all that nonsense. And trust me, whether it's residential or commercial, you're getting metal, maybe you're getting just regular old shingles, doesn't matter. Roof Goat USA knows how to deal with it. And they also do this. They slap a 30-year guarantee on that. That's right, 30-year coverage from install date. That's all materials and labor. Again, for 30 years from date of install. That's freaking phenomenal. That's the Roof Goat USA way. So go ahead, contact the GOAT, Roof Goat USA. Go to roofgoatusa.com. Whether you're in Michigan or Colorado, they can handle the business. It's roofgoatusa.com. Go ahead, experience the Roof Goat USA difference today. I've been kind of making people mad lately, and it's mostly Nuggets fans. And I did it again. It's like when your team is struggling, I get that you have a hard time admitting and you don't want to be the negative Nancy that is just like, oh gosh, our team, it's shit. That it's like they just pooped on the middle of the court. They did, and they dribbled their basketball in it. Holy goodness gracious, what's going on? You don't want to be that guy. You want to be Mr. Positive or Mrs. Positive. And I can respect that. But you have to look at things from a logical perspective. The Denver Nuggets have been just a hot mess. They have. They'll go out there. They'll drop 30 some odd points and win. I shouldn't say drop. They walk away with a 30-plus point win. Then the next day they lose to one of the shittiest teams in the league. What's going on? They are so inconsistent. Then I also, made people mad when I put this out as a Twitter poll and a Facebook poll. What's more likely? The Denver Nuggets get out of the second round of the get to the second round of the playoffs, or the Rockies finish above 500 this season. Okay. I know it's making you angry, but here's my point. The Nuggets have been so inconsistent. You don't know if they're just going to, tighten up their bootstraps and go, okay, enough's enough. No more excuses. Let's go out there and just roll. I see them get their shit straight for like a game, and then they're back to their old ways. It's really mind-boggling. And then you got the Colorado Rockies. I mean, I don't know. As Bruce said, this is what Bruce said, and I like it. He wrote this on Facebook. Nuggets are unreliable. Rockies are trash after April. I'm not comfortable saying the Nuggets will advance. Not comfortable saying the Rockies will have a winning season. My brain hurts. I voted for the Rockies. I believe on Facebook he's the only one. Everybody else is like Jason and says, did you post this during a fever dream? Rob wrote, Rockies are on the road to another 100-plus loss season. Bob wrote, one of you has failed your drug test. I don't know. What do you mean, one of you? Oh, maybe he meant the individuals that are voting for the Rockies. My point is, yes, I agree with what Bruce is saying. Usually, once May rolls around, the Rockies are done. You stick a fork in them, they're done. Okay? But I just got a vibe. I really can't say much other than that. That in a weird way, they kind of have some scrubs on there, but I'm not giving you any solid stats that are like, whoa, DeHuff's right. The Rockies, watch out. They're going to tear up the MLB. I don't have anything like that. But what I do have is I have a little more faith in the Colorado Rockies to break 500 for the entire at the end of the season. They'll be above 500. I have more faith in that than the Denver Nuggets right now getting out of the first round of the playoffs because they're so inconsistent. I want to be wrong. I do. I want the Nuggets to advance. I want them to win the fucking championship. But right now, they're not giving me that confidence. I'm not saying this is set in stone. They're not going to do shit, man. Come on. Nuggets, you're done, okay? I'm a shock jock. Shock jock. Nuggets are done. Fuck them, okay? Scrape up the whole team. Throw them in the trash. They're done. They're not going to do jack shit, okay? LeBron's going to take the whole thing. Maybe SGA. He's going to be flopping all over the place. Okay? If you're watching on video, you are so welcome. I did a lot of zooming in and shaking my face, and I tried to cross my eyes, but that didn't work. I can't cross my eyes very well. Anyway, the point is, I just don't believe in the Nuggets. And that sucks because I really like that entire team. It's just something weird's going on. You Nuggets fans, if this was any other team, would you not agree? And no. You're him and on. Well, come on. Come on. It's hard to put myself in that position. Yes, you can. You can. It's possible. you got to take off the Nuggets glasses. I don't even know what the gold and whatever glasses. Okay, they're not just radiating confidence when they go on a court. You don't know what you got. And I told you this before, and it did ruffle some feathers, from the people that are on the payroll. Found that out. You can't always trust the people that are being paid by the organization to give you an honest opinion, an honest evaluation of the team. Okay? They might be they have to blow smoke up everybody's butt. They have to. It's their job. Just look at it from a logical perspective. They're not playing great. Not consistently. And a championship team, a team that is going to do some damage in the playoffs, and that you're going to be proud to be wearing their jerseys, their colors and stuff like that. That's a team that is consistent. That's the one that you would be proud to be wearing their gear. Not necessarily the case with the Denver Nuggets right now. They start locking things up, tightening up those nuts and bolts, and they're more consistent day in, day out. Okay, there we go. I just, flip-flopped. I did a LeBron. I flopped the other direction. Now I'm excited for the Denver Nuggets again. Until they're consistent, I can't put my confidence in the Denver Nuggets. I can tell you, I do put my confidence in Storms Bros junk removal. Okay, and if you want to put your junk in their trunk, they're the ones that call. And look, that's their tagline. It's the greatest tagline ever invented, right? Whether it's your home, garage, office, yard, might be looking like a disaster, causing you all that stress. Oh my goodness. Whenever we get stuff just piled up around the house and you look at it and it's kind of overwhelming. It is. I get it. It is. Well, let them help you declutter and help you de-stress your life and your home, your yard, garage, all that stuff. Like I said, go ahead, contact Storms Bros Junk Removal right now. Go to stormsbrothersjunk.com. They can help clear up the mess, whether it's couches, sofas, futons, mattresses, box springs, appliances, electronics. Oh, there's more. Wood, drywall, construction materials, yard waste. Maybe you're clearing out a warehouse, something like that. Doesn't matter. They can handle it. So what you got to do, go to stormsbrothersjunk.com right now. Get a free quote. That's stormsbrothersjunk.com. Really easy to do on their website. They give you a basic list, but then you can also just send them a message. Hey, this is me. This is what I need to get rid of. They'll get back to you lickety-split and give you a free quote. It's pretty cool. Again, stormsbrothersjunk.com right now, or you can give them a call, 303-736-9404, 303-736-9404. It's Storms Bros Junk Removal. Put your junk in our trunk. And let's do this. Let's jump into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
All right, this comes in from Ken. Not that Ken. I guess that's what if you're... Oh, my God, I screwed that up, Ken. He wrote, I guess if that's what you're into, and then he quoted a headline. It says, New England Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel reportedly has jokingly referred to himself as Daddy in messages with former players, such as Will Compton, including one line that read, Daddy appreciates what you said. What? That's so weird. I kind of like it. I have a feeling he just has a good sense of humor. I personally don't go around as a coach telling people I'm your daddy. I think that's weird, especially because I coach Little League. That would be bizarre. That being said, my son jokingly will call me Coach Dad or Coach Daddy, and one of the other boys does too, Q. He's like, hey, Coach Daddy. I'm like, stop it. That's your dad over there. I am not your father, okay? I am not your father. I think that's funny. I think that's I everything I've heard, Mike Vrabel is a good dude and has a good relationship with his players. And sometimes, goofing around like this, that's just a I don't imagine Bill Belichick ever did that shit. If he did, the only person that he refers to himself as daddy is to his girlfriend. Just call me daddy. He's kind of Bill Belichick has a little bit of Billy Bob Thornton sling blade in him, don't you think? Mm-hmm. Eating some mashed potatoes. Let's go run the 3-4 defense. Mm-hmm. Tom Brady, go out there and throw me some touchdowns. Mm-hmm. Identical. It is. You didn't know if that was Billy Bob Thornton as Sling Blade or if that was Bill Belichick, old school Bill Belichick talking to Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. We just won the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. I need to eat me some fried potatoes. I'm stupid. You are welcome. You are so welcome. Ken, not Ken, thank you so much for sending that in. If you guys want to join in on the show, I love it when you can do it. Go ahead, hit me up on socials at DeHuff Podcast, or you can email me, DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com. All right, that's it for sports from the Storms Bros Junk Removal Studios. Again, check them out at stormsbrothersjunk.com. And big thanks to Roof Goat USA. Check them out at roofgoatusa.com. You guys are amazing. Have a wonderful day. Let's keep moving forward. I'll talk to you next time.